and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And it's bias episode time again!
Yay! Bias.
We love chanting things on this show.
Yeah.
So it's probably been like approximately a year since we did this last. I can check. Let me pull up our episodes. I'm curious if
To
we've
see how exact.
if we've done it right. Last time we did it in
I feel like we did it in May.
April 18th.
Oh my God, almost to the day. High five.
Wow.
We planned this, of course. Obviously.
No,
it's
I think
to the
we
day.
just felt it in
Who's
our souls.
surprised? Yeah, we knew something inside of us was like,
It's time. So last time we did this, we explained the
What a bias
concept of a
is.
bias because we were still doing very basic concepts back then. And we shared some of our biases, which at the time I talked about Mino from SHINee, Lay from EXO, and Bomi from A-Pink.
And I talked about Mino from SHINee, Chanyeol, and Chen, both from EXO, and I think I also talked about Yuno from
Yes.
TVXQ.
So just for the sake of it's been a year, have your feelings about any of these people changed?
Kind of, I think, actually.
Really?
Only in the sense, well, first I just wanted to recap because we do get new people like every time.
Oh, yeah.
So if you are a first-time listener or a brand new fan and you haven't listened to our previous bias episode, a bias is like your favorite member of of any particular group, and they can be your favorite for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
And we will give you plenty of examples of that throughout today and next week's episode.
Yes, because it's just going to be a double stack
Yes.
because we're going to Korea and we need to fill time while we're gone.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, this will be a 2-part episode. Today's episode will be about our biases, and then next week we're going to read all about your biases that you sent to us so lovingly.
Oh my God, yes.
So a bias is your favorite person in a particular group. So initially we talked about an ultimate bias, which was like your number one. That's never going to change. For both of us, that is Mino from SHINee, and that, of course, has not changed.
I won't.
Ever. That will never change. Don't even play. Then we also talked about a bias wrecker, which is like the person who comes in and like steals your attention away. And I feel like the reason I say that my feelings have changed is because
I see this.
Chanyeol is no longer a bias wrecker for me. He is my EXO bias.
Yeah.
He has replaced Chen as my EXO bias. Like I cannot pretend anymore. So that I feel like if I was to redo this episode, like I would include the person that I'm going to talk about today, Chanyeol and Mino, and like these are the 3 boys that that take up most of my heart and mind.
I think that's very, very fair.
Yeah. I just at the time that we recorded this, I was still a little bit, in
denial.
Yes, mostly in denial, and also just like more bitter about it. You know what I mean? I was still angry.
Totally.
Sometimes I still get angry, but for the most part, I've like resigned myself to loving
that you just
Chanyeol
love
for
him.
the rest of my life.
Right.
Yeah, like I can't control it. I can't help it.
Right.
So I just try not to fight it anymore.
Right. Exactly. I totally understand that. I feel like my choices, like I don't feel any differently about them. I feel like I love Yixing even more than I did a year ago because his like American tour was everything.
Yes.
He's worked so hard on his English. He calls everybody bro and it cracks my shit up.
Yeah.
And like,
I love it.
Just he's been good to me this year. I love him more.
He's like a fine wine. He just gets better with time. A personal favorite Yixing moment of this year was his Instagram post for International Women's Day, which was just like, I love women. Thank you for supporting me. Like, happy International Women's Day. It was so cute. It's so sincere. His voice is very high pitched in like the most sweetest way. And his English is perfect. I love his English. He's working so hard.
I have to take a moment because while we're talking about it, like I have to find a thing that he said.
Wait, actually, I bet you that I could pull up that Instagram post right now.
I'm sure you could. I was going to pull the Valentine's Day one up because I loved the Valentine's Day one. Where is it?
Here's the Women's Day. Here we go.
Happy Women's Day! I'm so grateful for all the strong and kind women in my life. Thank you to all the great women out there.
I love him.
Okay, wait. I love the Valentine's Day one because he had so much man cleavage.
Hey guys. I'm Lei Zhang. Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm always here for you guys.
He said Valentine's.
Yeah, he did.
I love him. Okay.
Maya Rudolph would be proud.
Sorry to like dip back into previously tread waters, but I just had to. I still love Yijing so much. Bomi's still my girl. And yeah, Mina will never change. So I'm
Mina
just
will
going to be
never
talking about
change.
new people and new feelings today.
You know what I'm surprised though? I mean, I guess it's fine because we've done so many we have dedicated so much airtime to Hyuna and Hyojong, but they're not on either of your bias lists.
I
or
know,
in
and
either
I
of your
thought
bias
about that
episodes.
because I thought about that after we finished that bias episode. It was like when we did solo artists and it was like Hyuna came up. I like got very upset because I just didn't because to me she was always a solo artist. Like because
Fair.
when I got into K-pop, like Red was out and Bubble and Troublemaker was a thing. So to me, Hyuna was an
You've
entity.
always been a Hyuna fan, not necessarily.
Yeah, she wasn't my 4-minute
fan.
bias.
Mhm.
She
Yeah.
was just Hyuna.
Hyuna.
And so yeah, I totally never include her in like bias lists because for like to me, I think when I think
You
bias,
think of a bias,
I'm
you think
trying
of
to
a group.
pick of a person in a group. But like she's been one of my ultimates like for so fucking long. And we are psychically connected. And she makes my day every day. She's the only person I have Instagram notifications turned on for. So if I wake up in the morning and I unlock my phone, which does have a beautiful Hyojong lock screen on it right now, and it's covered in Instagram notifications, I know that I'm just gonna like be greeted with joy when I open my phone. She's there for me every day.
Fair.
But yeah, no, it feels hard to like qualify Hyuna as like a bias. Because it just doesn't.
She's so much more.
Because she's more than that, and she's always been more than that to me. But on the topic of Hyojong, like one of the groups that I've gotten into since we did that last bias episode, because honestly, when we did that, we're still living in a pretty small corner of K-pop
Absolutely.
world.
When we did that bias episode, we had just gotten into TVXQ.
Yeah.
Like, we just barely.
You didn't know anything about 17, like
Yeah, I didn't know anything about 17.
Yeah, so Pentagon was like a group that I got very, very into pretty shortly after that. And I always thought on initial watch that Kino was my bias, and like I do think Yuto is the hottest. But like I didn't realize until I realized, and you made so very much fun of me, that Hyojong was for sure my Pentagon bias. And now that he's not in Pentagon, I kind of just feel like
You don't really have a
I don't
Pentagon
have
bias
one.
anymore.
And then GOT7 is a group where I truly can't pick a bias. Like,
Yeah.
gun to my head, if you made me, I feel like I would pick Jackson just out of weird loyalty. Like, I've known him the longest.
Fair.
So, like, I guess I have to pick him. But I just, like, truly, there isn't a member of GOT7 that I like more than the others. I like them so much as, like, a unit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I was thinking about like the groups, how my fandom has like changed since the last time that we did this bias episode. And I feel like the main group that I have now become a fan of is 17.
Yeah.
And that was like a process and took up a vast majority of my time.
Right.
And honestly involved going through like kind of multiple biases before landing
while
while getting to know all of
13
them.
is a lot of people.
13 is a lot of people.
It's much easier to take a group with 4 or 5 people and to pretty immediately be like, there's one of these that's grabbing me.
Mhm.
But
13, it's a lot of personalities to learn, and it took several months. And now I feel like I know them all very well. But I also feel like 17 is the only group that I've really dedicated the time to becoming a full fan.
Yeah.
In the sense that like I started to love Astro, and I have one of their albums and I know all of their names and I've seen like some of their V lives and stuff, but I don't know them that well, and I haven't seen that much of theirs. I'm no Astro expert for sure. Same with Icon. Like I have one of their albums, but I still don't know all of their names. I like Monsta X a lot, but do know all their names. I have watched some of their stuff, but I haven't really bought any of their music. So like there's been a couple different groups that I've sort of like dipped my toes into.
Right.
But the only one I really dove into since the last time we did this episode is 17. That's all I'm going to say because the bias I'm talking
you'll
about
want to
today
wait
is
a
from
minute
17.
to talk about your bias.
Because
think.
I'm sorry. The point of all of that is to say that I will only be talking about one person really today.
Okay.
And that one person is from 17. Spoiler alert.
Well, I think I have 3 that I would like to talk about today because I feel like I've experienced new types of biases. Since the last time, which is very exciting. So I will just start since we were just talking about 17. So it's interesting to me. I feel like at the moment we'll see where we are a year from now or what will happen. But I feel like with 17 and Monsta X, like if it had to be like a weighted scale, like I like Monsta X way more than you do, and you like 17 way more than I do.
Yes.
But we both really like those groups. It's just like we're in deeper on the other teams.
Absolutely.
So I
feel like at first it was 17 and Pentagon.
Right.
But then
the troubles happened.
Yeah.
And I had to protect my
latched
heart.
onto Monsta X
I had to protect
instead.
my heart. Because it truly hurts.
Understandable.
It hurts too bad.
Pentagon is hard to watch sometimes.
It hurts. It hurts too bad. So I would like to talk about my 17 bias. So this is like a very new type of bias to me in that like all of my previous biases are like people that I also like want to bang. Like there's a real, like a lusty element to my biasing. But this is my like purest, pure bias that I just like, I've never felt like this about a person. Like he's just so precious to me. And that is Bu Sung Kwan from 17.
Yes.
The first time I remember noticing him was when you were first getting into 17 and I was trying to like stay on board. So I was doing the thing that I love, which is like watch a weekly idol, like something very comfortable. And he does this disaster movie impression on variety shows where like it's the thing when the tidal wave is coming. He goes, "Oh my God." And like I just saw him and I was like, this kid is a fucking star. Like I saw his eyebrows raise in this perfect expression and I saw his whole career until he was an old man. And I was like, this kid is going to be on TV forever.
For the rest of his life.
And it was just the first thing that I like noticed about him. And then I just like went back on to like trying to learn all of the members. And then one day I was watching an Ask in a Box. And I don't know which YouTube channel is responsible for these, but it's like.
But there's really only like one 17 Ask in a Box. So if you type in 17 Ask in a Box to YouTube, you'll see this thumbnail that comes up. It looks like the Brady Bunch logo where you see all of their faces. But basically they're sitting at like a round table and each one of them has a camera in front of them so that when it's edited together, it's like they're all looking at the camera.
Yeah.
But really they're sitting at a round
Lots
table.
of groups do them and they're great, but they're also hard to pay attention to because you
so
want to look
many
at
people
everybody.
are in a corner. You have like 5 people in a corner at once.
So I was watching this Ask in a Box for 17 and I realized that I was looking for him. That every time the camera angles changed, I was trying to find a square with Boo in it. Because they don't put all 13 on the screen at once.
They cannot.
They just put a couple.
Yeah.
So I found myself looking for him and I immediately texted you because I was like, that was
That's a sign.
moment. And I was like, I need you to know that like, I think Boo is my bias. And you were like, I support it. And like, so that's when I like knew that he was my favorite when I was looking for him. But I just like I said, he's like a fucking star, but he's so authentic. Like I can tell that like that is just who he is, like deep down to his soul. He just like is that person. A clip I pulled like last time we like pulled some clips. One of the things I love the most about Boo is his extremely confident but heavily accented English.
Yes.
Like I just like love the gravitas with which he speaks English. Like even when he's wrong or his accent is so thick, like
he doesn't.
He sells it with his face and it's so good.
I think one of Boo's like best charms, and he has many. He's honestly a highly underrated member of 17, despite being like a lead vocalist.
Right.
I think he's overlooked in some ways, at least as far as like people don't often choose him as their bias. He is unapologetically himself 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. So that when he does speak English, even if it's terrible, he's just like gonna give it his all, and that just bless him for that.
So this clip that I'm going to play is from a radio show or an audio only V Live or something, and it's Vernon and Dino. Vernon, Dino, and Sungkwan. And in this little clip, it's him and Dino going back and forth, and he argues about the difference between this P and F sound. I think about this all the time.
How are you?
형 안 봤어?
You mean your mean is
에이.
how are you?
Oh.
Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Fine?
Yeah, fine.
Like fine.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Pineapple.
I know, no. Fine.
Fine. Okay.
Pineapple is pine.
I know.
P and F.
I know, but
Oh my god. Joke.
P and F. I think about that all the time. All the time.
Wait, have you ever you've seen I want you to
I'm
type
sure I've seen
I'm
it,
sure
but I'll
you've
type
seen it, but one of my favorite things, type in Sungkwan low quality.
Oh, you're low quality.
This is a pre-debut,
Oh my God.
very old video of mostly Sungkwan and Vernon speaking English to each other. Other members are in it, but they're the stars.
Talking about your, very low quality English. No quality? No quality? No quality. No quality.
He just switches to Korean and he goes, "I'm the best quality." Yes, you are,
They're
boo.
so small.
Yes, you
They're so
are.
small. What else did I write down? He also has like the most symmetrical face. I know that like all idols have to have like pretty symmetrical faces, but like his face is so symmetrical, and he has very like high cheekbones while also having like very big cheeks. Like he has a wide face, and his skin is so perfect. He like radiates like light from the inside. It's completely nuts. He's just like sunshine if he was a person. He's beloved by 17, which I like.
Of course.
I love that his members love him. I wrote, he is my son, and I am the number one. I am a number one stage mom. Like, I feel like, I don't know. The way I feel toward him, it's hard to describe, but I feel like he is
proud
my
of him?
best child. Yes. And I love him the most. Another moment that I wrote down was like, that's like a perfect boo moment. It's like they're singing on some show and there's like confetti falling and some gets in his mouth, and he like, while he's singing, he like pulls the confetti out like
Makes a
a
big show of it.
Yes, and it's like so perfect. And I just believe in him, and I feel like he's going to have like a long and wonderful career as a Korean entertainer because like he has the right stuff.
Yeah, he does. He has incredible comedic timing. That is evident in every variety show that he's in. He has zero shame in like a very positive way. Not in the sense where I feel like he never embarrasses himself. He's just not afraid to have fun. And
Yeah, he
be
just
goofy.
commits.
Yeah, he just commits to the bit no matter what it is. And because he does that, he pulls it off.
Yeah,
Like,
he's always funny. He doesn't
Yeah.
create awkward moments.
Yeah,
because
he's
he
always
just, like
funny.
is so funny.
And he is, I mean, you haven't even talked about it really, but he is a vocal powerhouse.
Yes, I have a clip. I didn't timestamp it, but I'm gonna find it quickly.
Okay.
When he was on Masked Singer, he sang in a range that he does not normally, and my word.
That is a lot lower than he usually
Yeah.
sings.
I don't know if this is the moment I wanted or not, but
사랑에 익숙한 나조차 목이 메여와 또 다시 찾아온 아픔에 힘겨워해도 기대조차도 없는 사랑에 그냥 한번 웃어봐 아물지 않는
my angel boy.
I love him so much.
I have to fade it, but like, oh my God. I hate Masked Singer clips though, because I want to see his face.
I know, but that's the whole point of
But
the
that's the whole
show.
point. But oh my God. Yes, he's a fucking wonderful singer. But at the same time, this is my stage mom thing. I like read an interview where he said he wanted to like go back to taking voice lessons. And I was like, yes, good. Let's keep that. Let's keep
yes.
that tuned.
Absolutely, of course. You can't,
Always
you
room
know,
for
You
improvement.
always have to practice. Always tune your instrument.
Yeah. So I'll stop it there, but like that's Boo is like a very interesting new type of bias
type
for
of
me.
bias.
And I'm enjoying every moment of it. I love him. I'm so proud of him all the time.
As we move forward in our like K-pop fandom, I wonder if this kind of I'm gonna call him like your
Yeah, what do we call this?
I want to call it like your prodigy bias or something like not
I mean like a
progeny because like you feel very motherly toward
Yes.
him, like you feel very proud,
Mhm.
and so you know like the bias of like your child,
Right.
and I wonder if this is a symptom of us being
Old.
older.
We're just gonna
and
keep
having
getting
like
new
yeah, like
biases
we're
like
gonna
this.
have more child biases because like the groups will be younger and we will be older.
Right. It's very
like
possible.
pretty soon, all of our biases will be like our children.
They're like my little babies.
They're like
Look at my
sons.
sons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, great choice.
Yeah. So tell us about this type of bias that you have.
So I was thinking about different, like, you know, reevaluating my biases. And obviously Mino and Tanya are still there, as are this third person that I will talk about in a moment. But I was also thinking about people that I'm like drawn to and that I think stand out to me in their particular group. For example, like 10 in NCT, he stands out to me significantly and is like kind of the only one in those groups that I care about, and the only reason that I like do sometimes pay attention to NCT. I didn't choose to talk about him today mostly because like the reason I love him is very visual.
Right.
So like I've seen every dance practice that he's done, and I fell for him hard on his Hit the Stage season. I
Right.
watched all of them. They brought me to tears. He's incredible. But like if I played a clip of that now, that would do nothing for you because you cannot see him dance as you
Right.
listen to this podcast.
Totally.
So I think I think he, along with two other people I'm about to mention, fall into like a talent bias, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like their talent just radiates off of them to the point where when they are on stage, I often find my eye like drawn to them.
Right.
So 10 is one in NCT, and I would say the other would be Hui in Triple H. I don't say that in Pentagon just because like my Pentagon bias would probably be Yenan.
Right.
But in Triple H in particular, like as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'll say it forever, Triple H is a vehicle for which Hui was the star.
Exactly.
And so he has like, I could just listening to his voice, kind of like how you were saying with Boo, like never felt this way listening to anybody else's voice, where he has a very distinct character to his voice, like to the timbre of his voice, where I feel like when you listen to Hui sing, you know that it's Hui right away.
Yes.
Like you can always recognize his voice, like his pronunciation, the like twang in his vowels, like something about it, you just know that it's him. It's
Right.
warm, but it's going to knock your socks off. I love a falsetto with
God.
a character.
He has like a whistle scream like Mariah Carey. Like he can.
Let's pull some clips.
Sure, please.
So let's start with Swim Good.
Okay.
The first clip I need you to play, it starts at 37 seconds.
Oh, and it's the video. Girl, you're gonna kill us.
just wanna get down 이미 나 취한 것 같아 오늘 밤 네가 제일 맴돌아 I focus on you 내고 영을 더해 하나가 되는 순간 I don't know Make your mind know that 네가 내 손을 꽉 잡아줄 때난 너와 발을 맞출게
I would play that whole song in a heartbeat, but we can't play the whole song.
But I didn't actually. I did mean for you to fade that out
Okay,
a lot
great.
sooner because
I got too excited.
It's okay.
I was like,
No,
we
I
gotta
didn't
keep
mind
listening.
because I love it. I one of my favorite parts of that whole song is, which he says it a couple of times. I just don't wanna get down. I love it. I love the way he says, I just don't wanna.
Yeah,
I just
it's
love
very
it.
good.
I love it so much. But then I also need you to go. We have to listen to his falsetto and to his range, which starts at 324 and goes to like 342.
Okay. Guys, I know we have told you to watch this performance like 4 times if you haven't listened to us yet. Whee! His name is an exclamation, like, Whee! Yeah, right?
I fucking love Hui!
I know you do.
The
yeah,
other
that was
clip,
an experience.
it
always is. Okay,
Moving on.
What's next?
I literally just need the one line, oh, I'm so lonely from Sunflower. It's at 125.
Okay.
This is a song, so this is a B-side from a Triple H album, their first one. 365 Fresh. It's called Sunflower, and honestly, all of Triple H's music is good.
It is.
I like so many of their B-sides, even that one that is a straight Versace Off the Floor ripoff. I don't care. Hui kills it. Girls, 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 I think is the one that I'm thinking of.
Girl, girl, girl.
Yeah, girl.
Girl,
Yeah,
girl.
singular.
There are also performances of Sunflower if you ever
I know.
want them.
I've seen them.
Just so the people know.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the audio quality of them was poor. So that's why I
Okay.
chose this
Here. I think about you and you. Okay.
I love that.
I love it too.
Ah.
So
Also, I would say, like, just as a side note, Hyuna sings really beautifully on that
Yeah.
song in a way that I feel like she often doesn't.
No, yes.
Just as a side note for anyone who's like looking for a great B-side, that is a good one.
Ugh, I totally agree. Thank you for shouting out Hyuna's vocal talent. People never do.
People, because she often uses that.
her fake voice.
Exactly.
But she can sing.
She can.
Really
She
can.
sings beautifully, and she does it on Triple H's albums. So check them out if you
Yes.
haven't already. Also, you can buy Swim Good on iTunes. Just FYI,
you should.
You should. The other, I guess, I would say, vocal bias that I have
or
of
talent
mine,
bias or
talent
whatever we wanna
bias.
call
I'll
this.
call it. Is DK from 17.
Okay.
Because DK also has. I think that he has less character in his voice than Hui, but he has an unreal falsetto that like never lets me down.
Right.
And he has a voice that is truly effortless.
Yes.
Like, no matter where he is, if he was just like casually singing underneath his breath as he's like laying down on a couch in the back room of some music show and he still sounds flawless, it's just effortlessly like radiates
Yes.
out of him in this just magical way. And so the first thing that I want you to play is from my number one 17 performance of all time, which is an Immortal Song performance of Tell Me, which is an Jung-hwa tribute medley that they perform for Jung-hwa. And the clip that I need you to play starts at 45 seconds and is like 15 seconds long.
Wow.
At that exact moment, when he hits that crazy note, it cuts to a fangirl going in the audience, and I just like, girl, I feel you. It's so great. Yeah.
Well, of course
Fantastic.
I obviously love a cut to a fangirl in the crowd, but just a reminder, like you immortally are one of those as well. So like, just so no one ever
I know.
forgets.
I
You have the
know.
shirt on today. So
I
do
know. I'm wearing my 17 shirt. Yeah, I also he has like that the most amazing falsetto in Nice too, that like iconic. It starts at 1:33.
I'll get it. Any excuse to listen to Nice. Uno, two.
Nice. I love it. I also love it because it sounds like all of 17 is saying nice to him hitting that note.
Yes.
And I agree.
It feels like
is
they are
nice.
like, yes, nice. Nailed it, bro.
He does nail it, bro. But yeah, so I didn't want to like fully gush about either of these boys, although I did gush about Hui because I love him.
Right.
But mostly just because I haven't like, I don't like catch myself thinking about them throughout the day.
Totally.
And for me, like that's the true sign of a bias is when I'm like driving to work and
you're
I'm
so
like, oh, I just spent my entire 20-minute drive to work thinking about Chanyeol.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
that's
a bias to me.
that's a good barometer. But I wanted to ask because when I was editing stuff for our like 1 year anniversary or whatever, there was a clip I pulled where you were like, I have a 17 bias and his name is DK. So I
DK
just want
was-
you to address like
He was my first 17 bias.
and that's
when-
important. A first bias is also biases are always important, whether they come and go in your life.
Yes.
Like,
And
it's
so
all
the
fine.
one reason that I did want to bring DK up is because I think he was my initial 17 bias. And I think the reason for that is because he has that magnetic talent that is undeniable and it draws your eye right away. And when you're watching 17 performances, like he's one of the lead vocalists, so he has a lot of those eye-catching moments where he hits these unbelievable notes. And I also got into 17 right around the time that BSS came out with Just Do It, which was his little subunit with Boo and Hoshi.
Right.
So it was like very easy to latch onto him. Plus, like Sungkwan, he is a variety show like expert. He just like has unbelievable charisma on stage and in front of the camera. So when watching things like One Fine Day or whatever, like you see him right away. And I'll talk about him I'll talk about my gradual switch from DK
when
to
we
my,
get to the other thing. That's
Yeah.
totally fair.
Don't worry, I'm gonna address it.
Okay.
I didn't forget that he was my first.
Aw, that's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this. Like, I guess I feel like they maybe are a pair, like a yin and
I
yang
think they go
pair,
together.
maybe.
They
Okay,
certainly go together in
they
in
definitely
the group
go
itself.
together. So it's time for me to address like Monsta X because I said at the beginning of this episode
It's time to address the monster in the
the
room.
monster in the room. Monster, not monster.
Monster.
And I've my mom baby dom gets more intense every day. It's getting really, really out of control. I know there are a lot of listeners that makes very, very happy. So like, please hit me up. I'm looking for more mom baby in my life. But like,
Please hit her up because I keep myself busy with 17 keeps me so busy that
Right.
like Shannon will send me things or like talk to me about things and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't watch this right now.
No, it happens. It happens. Okay. So I just have to address like Monsta X as a group. Like it is hard for me to like pick it feels hard to pick a bias because Monsta X more than any group, I fell in love with Monsta X and then I learned to love their music because I love them. But just hearing their music for years did nothing for me. And then it was like,
It wasn't until you started watching like little variety
Yes,
show
and
clips
like
of
getting
theirs.
to know Monsta X that I was like, oh wait, I love them with all my heart, and now I have found so many redeemable like qualities to their music and learned to like things about it I didn't like before.
Yeah.
There's still some of it I can't stand, but it's like been it's been an interesting like
Sort of a
backwards way
backwards,
around.
yeah.
So I do like really love them all. And when I was complaining recently about these two biases that I'm going to talk about, you were like, what about Shonu? And I said, he knows what he did. Which is just that I feel like Shonu is too perfect. Like, I feel like I couldn't and wouldn't bias Shonu. Like, you don't need to. Cause like, he's everybody's like, he's everybody's bias. You know what
Superman.
I mean?
He's like the Clark Kent Superman of the group, right?
I don't
He's
know.
like too perfect.
He sings so well. He's just so handsome. His like lips are so perfect, and his eyes are so small, and his like body is
chest is so
amazing. And
big.
and he dances so well, and he has like a beautiful little voice, and like it's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
So like I will always appreciate Shonu, but he can never be my favorite. He
Okay.
just can't.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's just how it is. But I really love all of them. But I have to talk about what the rap line has done to me. So my initial Monsta X bias, like at start, was Juon. And it was this moment exactly that I was like, oh, I love him. That one. He was it's from this BuzzFeed video, and he's smiling so hard that his eye smiles aren't even open, and he goes, puppy. And I was like, that one, I love that one. And that's like all I needed. But I thought we had played this on the show before, but we hadn't. It was in the background of the little like video I made on our Instagram. But his line in their Monsta. I've been talking too long today. His line in their Versace on the floor performance is the best.
Oh yes.
And it also
play
was a
for
big
us.
moment.
Play it for us. Play it for us.
So baby, let's just turn down the lights and close the door. Ooh, I love that dress, but you won't need it anymore.
Shush, Shonu, shush. It's not airtime right now. Let's just kiss. Okay, wait. So yes,
Sing it, Juon.
Juon was
Juon!
my immediate Monsta X bias. I didn't take extensive notes for him. Like I had boo notes, but I couldn't gather my
Just
thoughts
talk off
about
the
these.
cuff.
So okay, what I love about Juon, he's obviously stunningly beautiful, and he has a very, very, very deep dimple on one side, and it's like even if he isn't smiling, it's like always
it's
there.
always there.
And it's so cute. And he also was the cutest when he was a temporary host on Weekly Idol for a long time.
Yeah, with Honey, right?
With like Hani and Jackson, and like it was when Donnie was like out, and they just had like a bunch of guest hosts, and he was great. He's so funny. Like he does really silly Aegyo, like really silly, and he does this thing where instead of making like a full V with your fingers, you put them really close together and you just separate the fingerprints and you go like that. I have an example of how ridiculous and stupid his Aegyo gets. It's ridiculous. Like he has some of the like most insane duality of like any idol I've ever seen. And he said recently that he's retired from doing Aegyo. He clearly has not stopped doing it because he can't.
No.
But he said they made him because he was scary when they debuted, and they wanted him to seem nicer. And this is the like real thing with Juon with me, is that like his rapper persona legitimately scares me. Like I don't
Really?
I don't like hardcore like gangster rap, and he's very good at it, but like, ooh, it's not for me. He like yells and he screams.
Fair.
But like his lyrics are like very intense and very personal, and he's like clearly like very, very talented. But like, ooh, I'm scared of Rap Juan. But like I love sweet baby Juan, and he's like really, really, really sensitive and needy. And I want to take care of him. But so that's Juan. Like there's that thing which feels like a very normal, just like normal bias. I love this one. He's my favorite. But over the past couple of months, I have learned that I actually never knew what the term bias wrecker truly felt like. I thought I understood it, but I'd never had one before. And now I know that I have one. And that is Im Jong-kyun, or I am from Monsta X. I hate. And yet
Just hit my head on the microphone.
I hate
My
and yet
condolences.
I love so deeply. And I've never felt like this, and I literally hate it. I literally hate it.
Did you ever have a moment where you were like, man, Angelica's really exaggerating about this Chanyeol thing, and now you're like, never mind?
I mean, I don't know if I ever thought you were like exact. I mean, maybe I must have like subconsciously been like, meh. I mean, I guess she's being fun for dramatic effect. But like, no, I get it now, girl. I absolutely 100% get it. You were not being dramatic like at all.
It's very upsetting.
This is like
It's
a very
upsetting.
real thing.
Yeah. They crashed through your wall, and you're like, excuse you, no one invited you here.
I don't.
Who gave you the permission?
Yeah, I
Who
don't.
gave you the right?
I didn't.
Exactly.
I didn't.
That's the problem. It's like, I didn't consent to this.
I don't like maknaes. I don't like I don't. This is.
Is I am the maknae?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
inappropriate.
It is inappropriate.
On his part. He has no business behaving that way if he's the baby of the group.
I agree. Things I hate about him. No, but
10
for
things
real.
I hate about I am.
No, but for real, like a thing that I like love, hate about him. I find it, at first I found it like when I was first getting into them, I was like, God, this is annoying. This thing about him. But then it like became a like, aw, I love it. He is way too confident in his English skills. He does not speak English that well. He like lived in America for like 3 years when he was like 5. But like, oh no, he is American and his English is perfect. And it's very clear that he has like refused to study it ever since. But when they were on their like massive Jingle Ball tour, he was like doing all the translating like for the
group.
interviewers
Yeah,
and for
yeah.
the group, and he didn't understand any questions that were being asked of him. But like, nope, no panic on his face. Like, I got
He wasn't
this.
concerned at all.
No. And I like, at first I was like, I hate this. And then I was like, oh,
I know
wait,
you
I
complained
love
about
you.
it so much at the beginning.
But now I love him and I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, the thing that bugs me the most about this is that he just doesn't seem like my type at all. Like he seems like, to me, he's like that boy. Like it reminds me of like my sophomore year of high school when I was like trying to hang out with cool scene kids, and like I was listening to a lot of emo music and like trying to go to like cool shows in like downtown Austin or whatever. And he's like the boy that like hangs out with your friends, but he doesn't really talk most of the time. He's just like kind of there and he doesn't say anything. And then like one day he hands you like a book of poetry that he like wrote about you. And then he's like, you shouldn't love me. I'm very dangerous. Like that's his whole fucking vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm into it.
You know who he kind of reminds me of? Do you remember the movie Never Been Kissed?
I've never seen Never Been Kissed like all the way through. Like I've seen pieces of it on TV.
It does not hold up.
Oh, yeah.
It does not hold up.
Oh, that's too
It's
bad.
highly inappropriate,
Oh.
actually.
Yikes.
But the like cool guy at school is very much the like greasy, like too cool for school, too cool to care, but I know that you're into me kind of vibe that I am like that's the vibe he gives me for sure. If I was going to if I was going to cast him as like a 90s teen hunk, that's who he would be. He's the cool senior.
There's a little bit Heath
Never Been
Ledger in
Kissed.
10 Things I Hate About You. Like I said, 10 things I hate about him. Like he is slightly that person.
Yeah.
I have some clips. So
Okay.
I hate his deep ass fucking voice that he doesn't deserve to have because he is whatever.
몬스타엑스의 Lyric Life 좀 마음에 위안이 되는 시간이 되셨으면 좋겠습니다. 이상 몬스타엑스 IM이고요. 잘 자요.
Don't you dare tell me to sleep well. I hate you.
Inappropriate.
And another
Inappropriate.
And another thing I like love and hate about him is that he like can't really sing, which I think is adorable. Like I find that endearing. Like Mino used to not be able to sing at all. Like people can learn, but like here is like one of the very few examples of him sort of singing in a Monsta X song.
I like that YouTube video is just called I Am Deep Ass Voice Compilation.
Other people know what's up. I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
You're not alone. You're never alone in this K-pop
No,
world.
you never are. But yeah, it's just been very interesting. This new feeling of like there are so many things that I like cannot stand about him, and I like do not want to like him. And I was very upset that during this most recent comeback, like I would be looking at him, and I was like, no. But also, then at the same time, I like saw a clip from No Mercy recently, which is a horrible show, and they should stop putting groups together on shows like that. It's very mean. And he was brought in the middle of the show. They'd like already voted off like 4 boys, and they just brought him in the middle. And the other guys refused to speak to him because they were like very angry. And he was just sitting in the door, but he looked like he was gonna cry, but he like couldn't cry because he had to be tough. And I felt so bad and so sad for him, and I just wanted to hold him in my heart. But also I hate him. So it's a lot. And the fact that he like
the turntables
and how they have turned. But yeah, and it also bothers me that he like kind of goes with Chuan. Like they are the rap line, and in that like alligator like eye contact dance practice, they just hold each other during the rap break and like, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I can't take it. So that is a quick insight update into how things are going in my Monsta X world. If there are any other mobebe who care about that, please help me. All right,
Shannon's having
Angelica.
a rough go.
I usually do. I usually do. Okay, it's your turn now. Please let us know about this newest bias in your life. That I'm really excited to hear your version of the events, because like I'll just say from like my best friend perspective, I remember it was like we brought up on the show, like we made fun of this person's name when we first learned that he existed. And then I remember it was like,
I like how we've kept his identity a secret,
right?
as if like,
well, because you hadn't said it yet.
I
so
know.
didn't wanna blow up
No,
your
don't
spot.
say it yet. I like it.
But then
I
like,
just think it's funny because like anyone who's really listened to the show probably
know what
already
you're
knows
talking
who
about.
it is.
But and then like I remember you sending me a Isaac video of the rhythmic gymnastics,
Yes.
or whatever, and we talked about like, wow, he can be an acrobat. So then I like recognized his face, like you had given me like, okay, this one's an acrobat and his name is this. And then he got an Instagram and he had really great sunglasses, and then at KCON it was like, oh, sunglasses like this guy. And then
Yes.
suddenly like I turned a corner and he was like all you wanted to talk about. It just felt very like gradual, like he existed and then he was your favorite. So please like
Yes.
regale us with all of this story and reveal his identity.
My newest bias I have to like my holy trinity now. Mino, Chanyeol, and my dear sweet Ming Hao, aka the 8 from 17. He is. I just love him so
I know you
much.
do.
And so yeah, I tried to go back when I first started to think about like preparing for this episode. I was like, well, okay, when did I fall for him? Because as I said, my first 17 bias was DK. And the reason I think that it took me a little while to find Ming Hao as my bias, or for him to find me, depending on how you.
I think they find you.
subscribe
We
to
said
this.
last time that
The wand
they find
chooses the
you.
wizard.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it took a little while for Ming Hao to find me because when I got into the 17, I started out watching their One Fine Day Castaway series. And in that series, he happened to get very sick very early on in the show. And so he wasn't really on it. Like he was very absent for a lot of that series. And so the only thing I like really knew about him was that, so he was sick and there was a comeback like shortly after, or like a few comebacks after that show, because that show happened like right after they debuted. And then like a little while later, like he was absent from a comeback because I think he was injured. So the only thing I really knew about Ming Hao was like, oh, he's a Chinese member who's very thin and has like crazy colored hair, but he's never there.
You know what? You have a thing. As much as you have a thing for bucket hats, you have a thing for Chinese members who get left out of comebacks.
I do have a
Jesus.
thing. I know.
Yeah, because lay counts too.
Lay
like, you
counts,
could just throw
and
it
like,
all in there.
I mean, 10 is a Chinese. Well, oh no, he's Thai. But he does love a bucket hat. And yeah, my dear sweet Yenon, of course, Chinese, and loves a bucket hat.
Sorry to interrupt and blow up your spot, but
No.
Angelica loves all
have
the
a
boys
type.
she loves wear bucket hats. It's a fact.
Yeah, if you're ever watching a dance practice of like a group that I love, and you're wondering like, hey, which one is Angelica's favorite? Are any of them wearing bucket hats? 9 times out of 10, that one's my favorite. It's not like I choose the one in the bucket hat. It's just like, oh, look, there's my bias. And he's wearing a bucket hat. Like, it's,
Yeah.
This is just karma for like following that blog called Chanyeol's Bucket Hat during Coco Bob. This is karma for me shitting on Chanyeol.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So I started to think like, okay, well, when did I really start? Why did I start to like him?
Right.
And I think, so I really fell for 17 in general in the summer of 2018. So this past summer. Because we went to KCON in August. And so like by the time we went to KCON, I was fully on board for 17, like full carrot. I had already dived in. And because You Make My Day came out in July, and I pulled some receipts on myself. Call, their first Japanese single, came out in May.
Okay.
And that was a like perfect, beautiful moment for Ming Hao's mullet. But B was, I think, the first time that I remember seeing him and thinking, wow, he's stunning. That music video and his mullet in particular, and his like leather jacket on his motorcycle. He has this thing where he just like looks up at you through his bangs, through his like long shaggy bangs. And I was just like, oh, who is that?
Yeah, his hair does like a hair over the eyes.
He loves hair over his eyes, and he does it so well. So anyway, I think what really got me for him was the show's Going 17. Like when I decided to become a full carrot and started watching Going 17, that's where you like really get to know all of their personalities. Because if you don't know what Going 17 is, it's this show that started back in like 2017. Oh, yeah, that's when it started. It started when they came for KCON in 2017. And it's, so the first couple episodes are like them in LA. And the whole show, it's like still going on today. It's basically just like a behind the scenes, like backstage of their concerts, no matter where their concert is, if it's a music show or a tour or a KCON or whatever, it's just like them. And he is so effortless. Okay. I kind of tried to like organize myself into like reasons why I love him.
You don't need to make it so concrete. It's hard to do that.
I know.
Just feel it out.
In watching Going 17, you get to know all of their personalities. And as I think we said with Songkwan, one of Minghao's best qualities is that he is unapologetically and unabashedly himself all of the time, which I think you can say about a lot of 17 members in general. And I think that's one of the things that makes 17 as a group so fun to watch. But like Minghao is very effortlessly cool, but also just like very pure in so many ways. There's this Going 17 episode where he and Mingyu and like a couple other members all go to an art class, and they are doing they're like trying to learn different styles of art, and it is hilarious every time because they will do like, let's say for example, they're supposed to do a self-portrait, and so they're like given a mirror or whatever, and so like, you know, like Joshua and DK are there and they're like really trying, and like Mingyu's like a pretty good artist and they like have like a real like, oh, it kind of looks like them, and then Minghao turns his canvas over and he has like a purple dripping skull with like abstract splatters and he like goes on this like lengthy metaphorical explanation of why this is his self-portrait.
Wow.
He's so extra.
Yeah, he is very extra.
He is in like everything that he does. And I think at first I was kind of like, who is this person that is like so over the top?
Right.
And that became one of the things that I loved the most about him, because he is 100% himself all of the time. And that person is many things all at once and in like a very beautiful balance.
Right.
He is very wise and but also very giggly and silly. He is very romantic.
Yes, that video I sent you the other day, I'm like still thinking about it.
I know.
I found this video on Twitter that was from like a Chinese show, and they asked him like, what are you going to do when you're old?
They asked him,
or when do you get married?
When do you want to get married?
And he said like between 30 and 35.
And he's just sitting at a table like cutting fruit.
Oh, he's cutting
just
fruit.
like mindlessly cutting fruit like while people are asking him these questions, and they ask him, when do you want to get married? And he says between 30 and 35. And they say, what?
Well, then what's the life of a 21-year-old? Because that's how old he is now or whatever.
Well, what's the life of a 21-year-old like? Or they also
and then he
asked
said, I want to have a beach house and a lover and a dog someday. So right now I am working for that life.
I know.
So romantic.
I know.
I love it.
I love it. He's so romantic. He's also, like I said, he's very wise beyond his years. He gives phenomenal advice. Like, as I was falling for him, I started watching that Chinese show CYZJ, and that was like,
oh my god, that was an important moment because he was taking such good care of Yana.
Yes, because he had this like amazing moment with Yanan, who, as we've mentioned before, has like a lot of insecurities, and Yanan like really opened up to Minghao about how hard of a time he had making friends, and Minghao just gave him like the most beautiful, like candid advice about like being yourself, and like drew from personal experiences, and is like just very genuine in all of the interactions that he has with other people. He's very caring, but he's also like I said, he's very giggly and goofy. He's also sassy as fuck. He's so sassy. One moment that I love forever is from Going 17. It's the first season of Going 17, episode 17. A few of the members go to this like, it's basically like a little carnival ride that's like off the side of the road somewhere. It's like one of those bungee jumping things.
Was this in the Dallas episode? Because
Yes.
I've seen this one.
It's the Dallas episode. So Dokyam is terrified of heights, and he and Hoshi like volunteered to go first on this like crazy bungee thing. And DK is like screaming, and June is like, it's okay, it'll be fun. Like, you're gonna have so much fun. And DK goes, what if I die? And the 8, without even looking up from the back, he's like leaning against the picnic table, and he just goes, then you die. And it immediately just goes swing and like just launches them off. I love it so much. But the one clip that I do want you to pull, I'll do the second one. I will give some context for this clip first, because it is in Korean. So there's this show called I don't know if it's still on the air, but it was called The Yang and Nam Show.
All the funniest clips of everything were from this show. I
Yeah.
don't think it lasted long enough because there was the perfect shiny episode. There's a hysterical GOT7 episode. Like, this is a good show. Okay,
Yeah, this
go
was
on.
a fantastic show. And 17 went on it and did like a lot of really fantastic, like, truth-telling activities, basically, where they got to like kind of air out some dirty laundry. And one of the segments is called something about like ima, which is basically like Korean slang for punk. And basically the premise of this segment is that members of the group get to talk to, particularly in this case, a leader, about how a leader has wronged them in the past. And so it's like, hey, you did this and it really bothered me. And the leader is supposed to say like, so that happened, and like accept responsibility and just take it. That's the only thing they're allowed to say is, so that's how it happened. And so Minghao tells this story, and he starts out and he holds Hoshi's hands and he like swings his hands around and like very innocently is like, are you ready? Because he's about to fucking drop the mic on Hoshi right now. And he tells this story about how one time they were working on a choreography and they weren't coming up with any ideas. And the like suggested something, and Hoshi immediately was like, oh, you know what? Like, no, I don't think that that's a good idea. And then their choreographer came in and suggested the same thing that Minghao had suggested. And Hoshi said, oh, that's a great idea. Like, yeah, I love it. Let's use it. No. And the 8 did not hold back in telling this story.
Okay, here we go. They all died.
They all fall on the floor because he screams out, why didn't you listen to me, you punk, is what he screams. And like Hoshi just gets literally knocked to the floor because he didn't see it coming and is like very embarrassed that this has happened. Minghao is like a sassy, I almost said a sassy queen, but what I meant was like he's just like excellent at giving sass. That CYZJ show is actually a great example of it because not only is he is very, very sweet and adorable with June. Like his relationship with other members is one of the reasons I love him so much, because he is very like cuddly and supportive and like loving of June, but he's also 100% done with June's like antics and shenanigans, because June is older, but he is like a puppy. He is like an unbridled puppy all of the time. And sometimes Minghao in that CYZJ show would literally look at the camera like he was in the office because he just couldn't believe whatever June had just done or said.
I love
he
that.
has fantastic comedic timing. Let's see. I'm just gonna run down like a couple of other things.
Okay.
that I love about him. Okay. Speaking of relationships with other members, one thing, they did this show called 17 Club where
I love that show.
I love
watched
that
show.
It's so good. It basically is just like them sitting around a table and they like talk about, they have a different topic each episode, and then they show like different clips that were filmed of like the members about whatever topic that was. So there's like a few different ones, and they're like one where Minghao and Joshua go on like wine tasting dates together, and it's fucking adorable. Also, like I said, Mingyu and Minghao both share a love of art, and they put together a little museum exhibit for the two of them. Like they put together an exhibit of like artwork that the two of them had done and like premiered it or whatever. And then they also are each other's Insta wives, which is really fucking precious.
Yes.
They take the cutest pictures of each other for their Instagrams, and I just adore it. Speaking of Minghao's Instagram, this is like a major reason why I love him.
It's a good one.
It is a fantastic Instagram. He has like a very specific aesthetic to it. But he is like, I'm not ashamed to say that I think he's my style icon. Like he inspires my fashion in a variety of ways, not only in like the ways that I like combine certain outfits, but like I literally bought round sunglasses because he always wears these round beautiful glasses, like
Right.
eyeglasses and sunglasses. And he like perches that on the edge of his nose. Like he's just the most graceful, dainty, beautiful being that ever wore glasses.
Right.
I love it. With his glasses perched on his nose and his like bangs in his face. He just looks so beautiful. He's stunning to me. He's stunning. Also, let's see. Okay. Let's play a clip.
Yeah, I wanna play this clip that's labeled giggling because I love clips of people laughing. So can I play that?
Yes, this is the dichotomy of his like cutesiness.
他问你想吃什么？
His glasses are on his nose just like she said they would be.
And his hair's in his face.
他问你想吃什么？
Sorry, I had to play it again.
It's so his giggle's so small.
Oh my god, that was very
It's so
cute.
little.
Okay, wait, what did you want me to play?
Okay, so that is like that's the real Ming Hao. This
Right.
like teeny tiny giggle. Then go to his so one reason that this Chinese show is like so phenomenal and foundational in my
Right.
love of him is that they got to collaborate and like create new stages and like experiment with different like music genres and stuff every week. And one of his first performances was a Chinese remix of Clap. And it is fantastic. This is his mullet at its finest. And I swear to God, this is like, oh, take me now. He's so hot in this video.
Oh my
I'm
god,
sorry.
okay, what time?
I'm sorry if that's inappropriate, but he's so hot.
We're allowed. This is our show.
Yeah. And he's an adult.
He's old enough.
He's
Okay.
a legal adult in this video.
别介意，别介意，一眨眼周末过去，时间不等我，不等他，也不等你。别爱上叹气呀 ，smartphone 你，随心所欲放纵自己。THE to the A，高桥谁别说。
I really like, well, first I wanted to play that because I love the sound of his voice. He has a very specific character to his voice.
Right.
And
I can always pick him out of a 17 song.
Yeah, I have a hard time identifying a lot of 17's vocalists, like just by listening to their songs, but he's one I can always pick out of a crowd. So I really like his voice in that, but I also really like the arrangement that he does. Like he does change it. He doesn't just rewrite the lyrics, which he did. He rewrote all of the lyrics, but he also like rearranged the composition. Anyway, the ending of it, like he really goes off.
直到手掌着急我拍手，一起跟着感觉走拍手，来我这一起，别生气别生气 baby， 跟着唱这首歌拍手。
Wow, he's got them all.
He's got them all. Everyone, even backstage, they're all clapping along because he's so dynamic and he's wearing like a Michael Jackson red leather Thriller suit and he looks fucking great.
Yeah.
His mullet is
That hair was so good.
stunning.
And I was also thinking, because I finished it recently, that the lead actor, you were saying this, but like for sure after watching that, I can confirm that the lead actor in I Need Romance 3 is like if Chanyeol and Ming Hao got smushed
Yeah.
into the same person.
Yes.
Like 100%.
The nose and chin
Uh-huh.
is all Ming Hao.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
eyes are it's very
And the eyes
interesting.
and deep voice are
because he
Chanyeol.
has Ming Hao's nose. I like one of the ways that I was able to pick him out when I was learning 17s is he has a nose that like almost like a cartoon. It's like very round on the bottom.
It's
It goes
very
like,
round.
"Ee."
It's very round.
Like
It's
if
very
you could draw
distinct.
him as a Bob's Burgers character and he would look just right.
Yeah.
'Cause his little round
He has a
nose.
little round nose and it's kind of long. And I saw a video because I've watched an obscene number of like fan-made compilation videos of Ming Hao. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that if one exists that is specifically for Ming Hao, I have watched it already.
Wow.
But One was suggested to me the other day, which was Minghao's post-surgery nose. And fuck you, he's never had plastic surgery. And I did do the research to confirm that, because as soon as I saw that video, I didn't watch it. I was like, this is blasphemy. And then I went online and I confirmed it for myself. No one has ever touched that nose. How dare you speak ill of my beautiful Minghao.
Wow.
I will cut your nose. How dare you?
Passion defense.
How dare you?
I love it.
Let me think if there's anything else that I can't. Oh, actually, because you love Sungkwan, you will love this.
Great.
Clip. Go to the egg yolk.
Oh, goody.
Because Sungkwan's reaction to this is everyone's reaction to this.
His face was perfect.
Immediately comes out and he's like canceled. Everything is over.
But his face looks like so worried.
He's so distressed.
Oh my God.
Because it's so cute. Yeah, I just love him. I'm pretty sure. I feel like the only other reason I haven't really touched on is that like my love for DK and Hui, Minghao is a talent bias because he's such an incrable dancer. It's not worth playing clips of that right now because
you can't see them.
wouldn't
So
be
you
able to
look them
see
up.
it. But I just if you ever scroll through his Instagram, he has incredible freestyles on there. You can just YouTube search Minghao freestyle or the 8 freestyle and you'll find tons of stuff. He's a phenomenal b-boy, so his dancing is he has crazy footwork and he does insane flips. He is also a nunchuck master, which I didn't think was that impressive until I saw him do it on Weekly Idol, and I was like, that's the craziest shit I've ever seen. He's also done it on stage before. But yeah, I don't know. I just love him. He's whenever he's on stage, I always watch for him. The performance team songs are some of my favorites. And yeah, Good to Me was rough on
Hard
me.
to me.
It was hard to me. Because clearly I do have a type, as you were just mentioning, with this I Need Romance 3 guy who was I think the start of it all. He planted the seed in what I look for.
Right, because that was so long ago, and you didn't know he got deep in there.
I didn't realize how deeply he had been ingrained in my subconscious. But Minghao's walking a dangerous, slutty path in some of his stage outfits, and I'm concerned for my future self.
I think that might also be a part of your type, because Yenon seems to be becoming a little skanky himself, and we know what a ho chanyeol is. It seems to be the path that they take. So brace yourself.
I love a tease.
Minghao's gonna get real buff too.
Oh Lord, no, he won't.
No, he wouldn't.
will never.
He'll stay a skinny
He's a
king.
Skinny little
skinny
twig.
legend. Is that what the
skinny
kids say?
legend? Indeed. Talk about a skinny legend, dear Lord. He will just blow right over. Speaking of things that bless me and have nothing to do with him being skinny, but was just a beautiful marriage of things. In the most recent Going 17 episode, there's this cute little scene where Dino is how can I entertain us all? Oh, I know, here, let's take a look at what everybody does when they're backstage at a music show. He's here you have 3 types of members. And the first is on the floor, and it's just the 8 and DK snuggling. The 8 is looking at stuff on his phone, and DK is
oh my God, this
spooning.
video.
He's just cuddling head on his shoulder, completely wrapped around the 8 on the floor, and Minghao is just so contentedly snuggling with him, and Dino's they're one body. The 8 says, go ahead and rest on me. He doesn't care. And DK just snuggles it. Oh, it's so
I love
cute.
puppy boys.
I love snuggly boys. I love it.
Well, we could talk about this stuff all day long, but we gotta move past it so we can wrap this up and then get to our listener episode next week. So, any final thoughts? I'm, for one, very grateful for all of these new biases in my life. They all bring me joy, which is why they are my favorite. And I look forward to the future with all of them by my side.
Yeah. I look forward to Minghao's Instagram every day.
I know. That's the best feeling. All right, well, we'll float on that feeling and we'll be right back for our random game. All right, we're back. And the random game seems to know that we are on a time crunch because it gave us a group with literally no information about them.
Like 2 sentences. This is a group called 2X, which it says is an acronym for Top Win 1X, in which the X signifies to multiply. And it's a South Korean girl group formed by Jae-toon Camp in 2012.
Yeah, they debuted in 2012 on M Countdown with their debut single Double Up, which was followed shortly by Ring My Bell. Double Up charted at like 135, and Ring My Bell got to 56. So not super high. In 2014, they left their original label and went to Stargaze Entertainment.
And
Then
they were originally a 5-member group, and then one of them left in 2016. And then in 2018, a fan asked one of the girls on Instagram if they were disbanded, and she said yes. So it wasn't even like an official announcement.
What a bummer. So that's literally all there is to say. So we'll get into this music video. Ring My Bell is their most popular, and it has 3.2 million views, which is 3 million more than the last group we watched last week. So I don't know.
Let's find out.
We'll see. This is from 6 years ago. 2X, Ring My Bell.
Okay, there's lipstick on a mirror.
2X, Ring My Bell, written in lipstick.
2 girls getting ready.
Okay, I like this bass line so far.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All these girls are they have curlers. They're picking outfits out.
Some of them have big rollers in their hair. They're basically just it's all 5 of them, and they're in a colorful room getting together to get ready.
Oh, they just turned into comics. Ooh.
Oh, and now we're in a different panel of the comic. Animated skyscape is appearing around them. Cityscape, I guess. Wow.
Okay, they're in all pink outfits in the clouds, literally in the sky.
That's kind of cute choreography,
a cute butt. Oh, that suck it. That's not great, but the booty shaking is cute.
This is kind of cute. I kind of like it.
They're all cute. This comic art in the video is good. Oh, now they're walking into the club. A pink club that's very pink.
Just like their outfits in the sky. Oh, look at her polka dot lipstick.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like the choreography in it. It's cool. Simple, but cute. I love a sassy slidey leg move.
Yeah, and those very big chunky heels, everyone was wearing those at the time. So it's very.
This is very timely.
Yeah. That polka dot lipstick is very cool.
Yeah. I do wish she wasn't wearing pink leggings in that dance scene though, because her legs blend into the wall.
Okay, there's an
Castle
animated
in the sky. They love an eye rhinestone.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting makeup choices being made in this, which I like.
vocals.
Yeah.
Oh, and now the cityscape is in color.
And there's hearts just like floating through the sky
And
everywhere.
feathers falling in the club.
Falling in the club.
You're in the club?
Ring my bell. Wow.
Well, that was that.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either. Ugh. It's just always a bummer.
I know.
I love
a shame.
the random game. At this point, we've like learned about like 60 groups.
I know, so many.
Which was very exciting. But yeah, these ones where it's like, oh, they put out 3 songs total. And it's like, well, some of them are good. And it's just like a bummer.
It's just a bummer.
All right. Recommendations.
Oh, gosh. You can go first.
Okay. I am going to suggest a compilation video that is missing a couple. It's missing a couple. I wish that like I had made my own version. Maybe I will someday. That's like missing the ones. But the one I'm recommending is titled on YouTube, EXID Hani equals Juwon's #1 stan. It's just like a montage of all the times that they introduced Juwon on Weekly Idol. And he comes running in and he does like a girl group dance, or he's like making fun of Jackson or whatever he does. But any entrance he makes, Hani is losing her fucking shit. Like, she laughs so hard and she like points at him. Like, she's just like, ah, ah. Like, it takes over her body. Like, how funny. She loves him. She is his #1 stan. And it always makes me laugh every time I see it because I love him that much too. And I love Hani. And it's very funny to watch her laugh. So, any videos or just any compilation videos of Juwon entering on Weekly Idol, I promise you will like them. They're always funny.
Okay, my recommendation is not specifically a Minghao recommendation or a Minghao video, but I would like to recommend the Hammer game from Idol Room that 17 played the last time that they went on it. Basically, the premise of this game is that they play rock, paper, scissors, and whoever loses has to pick up a bucket in order to protect their head, and whoever wins the rock, paper, scissors is supposed to try and hit the loser on the head with this like rubber hammer.
Before they can block it.
Before
with
they
the
can
bucket,
block
yeah.
it. And so like if you hit the loser on the head before they block their own head, then you win. And you like keep playing as long as the person can block you. The reason they play the game is because DK is accused of being terrible at all games. He's called the like game idiot, the game pablo. And so they like play this like tournament of all of the 17 members so that eventually DK can like play, like he only plays like the final 2 rounds between like the best person, and it just so happens that the final round is him versus the 8, but the entire game is fucking hilarious. There's not only do they not understand the premise for a really long time, but also they're just like very bad at it reflexively, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna go, and next week we will be back with your listener biases that you sent to us. I'm so excited to read them. They're really fantastic, and I can't wait for you guys to hear them. So come on back next week. And if you would like to follow us on social media, we are at AMA K-Pop Pod on Twitter and Instagram, amakpoppod@gmail.com for emails, amakpoppod.tumblr.com for links, and Ask Me About K-Pop, the podcast on YouTube. See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Jonghyun, your inspiration.